Hi, Boxers, and welcome back to the 2020-2021 school year. We start back officially on Wednesday, August 12th at 8:45 a.m. We're here today with you to tell you a little bit more about your schedule. You got some information in your emails, you've received some information via your parent square, and if you were with us on Saturday during the town hall, you heard a little bit more about our scheduling process. I've invited Ms. Gutierrez and Mr. Winchell to join me in this video to share a little bit more about how it was that we went about structuring our schedules this year, and also to talk you through what the bell schedule is going to look like. So in a minute, you're going to hear from Ms. Gutierrez, our lead counselor, and then you'll hear from our director of instruction and a push teacher, Mr. Winchell. They're both going to explain quite a bit in detail, so I would encourage you to grab a piece of paper or perhaps just take some time to stop and rewatch this as much as you need to so that you are ready and prepared for day one, week one, and the rest of the school year. Though this is not how we would hoped to start the year, and it's not in any way that we would have anticipated. And we won't be opening our doors this year for the beginning of the school year. In fact, we're now opening our computers. We are still very excited and eager to get back in session with you. You are the reason we do this work, and we've missed you so much. We really look forward to another wonderful school year. Despite whatever challenges may come our way, we're boxers, and we do things with excellence, and we get through the tough times. And as long as we're in this together, we're going to get through this together, and we're going to do it successfully. I know it in my heart. So excited to have you back. You are so loved, so missed, and we look forward to August 12th being back in session.
Hello, Neuwirth Boxers. Welcome to the 2020-2021 school year. I'm Ms. Gutierrez, the lead counselor, and I'm here to explain to you how schedules will be working this year. So first of all, why are schedules so different this year? Neuwirth has to be ready for a couple of scenarios. The situation where we're all in distance learning for the majority of the year, or the situation where we're in hybrid learning, where some students can come onto campus. Right now, we're going to start the school with all distance learning, with students having live sessions. This structure of schedule is going to allow us to move between the two options and keep everyone as safe as possible in the event that we can go back to school. Factors that have to be balanced. So we took into account a couple of different things when creating your schedules this year. One was the classes that you requested in the spring. Two was the classes that you need to graduate. Three is having self-contained groups. So in the event that we ended up going back to campus, we needed to have it so that the students stay in one class instead of moving around. In this case, teachers would then move between classes. So this is what places the biggest restrictions on our schedule this year. Usually we're able to make a lot of changes, drop you, add you, change your periods around, because students are the ones that move. So it gives us an infinite number of combinations. But because now we have to keep self-contained groups, it makes it so that we have to make sure that everyone in that class has the same classes. And so that makes the biggest restrictions on our schedule. We also took into account the way your parents responded on the parent survey that we sent out this summer, because we know that some families would prefer to have the option to go in person if that becomes an option, and other families would want to stay in distance learning the whole time. We have COVID-19 regulations we had to follow for this schedule as well, where we have no more than 15 scholars in the in-person cohorts, and no more than 25% of our students can be on campus at one time. For those of you who have been on campus before, you know that our building is not that big and can get pretty crowded sometimes, and that can be a big safety hazard. And so we have to make sure that, we have adequate spacing and social distancing in place, and the ability to do that with the students that are on campus, and that's going to keep us as safe as possible. We also have to take in a whole bunch of different new laws that have come over the summer to make sure that you are meeting your requirements. Minutes of instructions, if you're a special education student, that you're getting your services. If you're a language development student who's in ELD, that you're also getting your requirements. So you're going to see 3 different types of schedules depending on which cohort you are. You could be cohort A or cohort B, and depending on either of these cohorts, you could also be a virtual plus student. I'll explain that a little bit in a minute. I want to make sure that you all know that advisory is going to have an A-C coding for everybody, no matter what cohort you're in or if you have virtual plus classes. This is because everybody will have advisory every day online in a live session. First type is cohort A. So a cohort A schedule is going to look something like this. You know that you're cohort A because next to your period, you're going to have these parentheses, and the first letter is going to be your cohort. So for example, this is a cohort A student. You see here, period 7, which is advisory, is still coded as A-C. You'll also be able to see the names of the classes you're signed up with and the teachers. A cohort B student, you see here, it's going to pop advisory to the top because it has an A in it, but it's still advisory A-C, and that's everybody. But the majority and the rest of these classes, periods 1 through 6, all start with the letter B. So that's a cohort B student. A virtual plus student is going to be part of A or B. So if you're an A student with a virtual plus class, you'll have your periods look like this, period 1 through 6 with your A class coding. Your period 7 advisory is still coded A-C, but then that means you also have a B schedule class. So this student, for example, on the days that they go to live sessions, their cohort A days, for period 2, they'll have US government. But on the days that they have independent study and independent learning, they will also be logging in during period 2 for an AP biology class. The same goes for a cohort B student. So this cohort B student, see, has period 7, A-C. 1 through 6 are in B. They start with the letter B. And so these are the days that they go to live sessions. They will also be logging in on their independent study day for a period 6A session. And we created this to be able to give you guys more flexibility in AP classes. It was either doing this or cutting those classes and not being able to offer them at all. And we didn't want to jeopardize that opportunity. Because we know that this schedule is impacting you and is going to have implications, we want to make sure that we collect your concerns. So usually in the beginning of the school year, students are able to fill out a form where they tell us the classes that they want to change. However, because of the schedule, it's going to be very difficult to change any classes. We do, however, want to make sure that we're collecting your feedback to help us in the future. So first of all, the feedback, if you happen to be in a situation that lands in the 1% of situations where we can still make a change, then we're going to try our best to do it. We don't want to harm you in this process, and we want to try our best to help you. If you are in the rest of the 99% where we can't make a change to your schedule, we're going to work with your teachers to find a way to support you and make sure that you have every opportunity to pass a class that you might struggle in. And the last part is that we want to make sure we document how COVID-19 has impacted your education. So in the future, when you're applying to college applications, work applications, the military, whatever your post-secondary plans are, we can go back to the document and say, hey, this is how COVID-19 impacted my life and impacted my education. This form, the schedule concern form, is going to be posted in the boxing ring. The form is also going to give you up to 6 areas of concern where you'll have a drop-down menu and you'll be able to select the classes and indicate what is the concern for that class. And you'll be able to indicate if you're missing a period, if you have a duplicate period, so maybe you have 2 period 1s or two math classes or something like that. As has been the case in the past, we can't accommodate for teacher choice, like you might prefer one teacher over another, but we can't do that. Or you might want to have an elective choice, and we can't do that either. We want to make sure that all of your concerns and your questions are submitted via the Google Forms. This is because we want to keep all this information organized, and we want to be able to go back to it in a future time. Also, if you send us an email or you call us or you send us a remind, because we're human, and because we're facing the challenges of working from home as well, there's a chance that we could lose this information, and maybe your email gets lost in the shuffle of emails, or maybe I can't answer the phone when you call me. And so we want to make sure that we keep track of all your concerns and information in an organized way to make sure that we're addressing them as needed. If you do need help filling out the form, so you log in, you look at the form, and you're still confused and you don't know what to do, you can definitely reach out to your counselor. I don't want you guys to think you can't. Please reach out to your counselor so they can help you fill out the form. The deadline to submit the form is going to be August 19th, 2020 at 11:59 p.m. So that's going to give you a week from when the first day of school is. It's going to be, again, linked in the boxing ring and posted on the Google Classroom. And here is the information for the counseling team. So there's my email, Ms. Gutierrez, Neftali Gutierrez, my phone number, and then you have the information for the other counselors. I want to let you know about the caseloads this year. So Ms. Mohammed is going to be the 9th grade counselor, and Ms. Aguilar is going to be the 10th grade counselor, and together they're going to be the 12th grade counselor to make sure that we can give our seniors support during the college application process. Ms. Mandujano will be the 11th grade counselor. Please feel free to contact any one of them at their email or at their phone number if you have any questions about the schedule or about anything else that has to do with starting the school year. I know that starting the school year is going to be a transition. I'm hopeful and I know that you guys will be able to handle it well because you're boxers and you're amazing. And we are here to support you with any difficulties or any struggles or concerns that you might have at any point. Have a great first day of school. Go Boxers.
What is up, Boxer family? This is Mr. Winchell, and I want to first let you know how absolutely excited we are to have you back for the 2020-2021 school year. Now, obviously, this isn't a normal back to school first week, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to make the best of it and do everything in our power to ensure that you have access to the type of education that you deserve. Now, my job today is to walk you through what the schedule is going to look like for you as a scholar, whether you're in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, or 12th grade for the upcoming school year. Now, I want to preface this by saying that the schedule is going to remain exactly the same for you, whether we are fully on distance learning, like we are currently, or once we transition into a hybrid learning approach. So it's really important that you understand the schedule and kind of where the different times that you're going to be required to be present in class are, so that you're as ready as possible to engage in the really important work that we have ahead of us this school year. Now, I want to go over 2 schedules with you. 2. The first schedule is going to be just what your first week of school is going to look like schedule-wise. That's just for this upcoming week, as well as any other time during the school year where you have a Monday and a Tuesday off and you start the week on a Wednesday. However, the more important thing to internalize and figure out and get your mind around is the consistent bell schedule that I'll go over second. Okay, so I'll make sure that you pay attention, that there are 2 schedules for you to understand. The first is for this upcoming week, and the second is for every other normal week that we'll have for the upcoming part of the school year. So here is the schedule right in front of me on your screens for you to see. And this, again, is the schedule for next week for the first week of school. Now, you'll have advisory live, which means you have to be logged in and ready to go every day from 8:45 to 9:10. This is vital. This means that you don't get to just roll out of bed, click yes on the attendance form, roll back over and go to sleep. No. This means that you need to be present, engaged, and ready to learn at 8:45 next Wednesday, next Thursday, and next Friday. 8:45 all week. That is your advisory time. That is where you'll take a roll. You'll get important announcements. You will get important information. You can ask questions of your teacher. You can start to build some relationship with those in your advisory. Very, very important. 8:45, be there. Be ready to go. Now, on Wednesday, the first day of school, you're going to have access to introductory sessions or videos or activities from all 6 of your classes, which means that beginning at 9:15, you can access your first period session. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to be a live session. You're not going to be face-to-face with your teacher, which is okay. We'll save that for Thursday and Friday. It just means that you're going to have access to whatever it is your first period teacher has prepared for the first day of school for you to understand, to learn, to do, etc. Okay? You'll have then a short break followed by period 2, again in the same format, in which your teacher won't be live with you face-to-face, but you're going to have to engage in some sort of opening introductory activity. You'll have a little break. Period 3 will be from 11:05 to 11:50. As you notice, each class here is going to be 45 minutes. Then we have a break for lunch, followed by period 4, period 5, and period 6, and you're done for the day at 3:05. Now again, I want to reiterate to you that Wednesday is not what we're going to start calling from this point forward a synchronous day or a live day, which means you're going to be face-to-face with your teachers. Nope. Wednesday is a day in which you're going to just go class by class, access your introductory materials, make sure you have everything you need. You can ask questions of your teachers, etc. So that Wednesday day is just to figure out for you, what classes do I have? What do I have to do? Am I in all my Google Classrooms? All that important work that needs to get done before the real learning takes place, which will start on Thursday. Now, on Thursday, if you are scheduled into cohort A, and you'll see this on your schedules, it's available on the schedules. If you are in cohort A, then you will have periods 1, 3, and 5 in the morning following this schedule. So again, every class is 45 minutes with a 15-minute break in between, but this is important. These classes will take place live. You've been placed into cohorts of approximately 15 people per cohort per class, which means that you will have to be online at 9:30, ready to go for your first period class with your first period peers, and your first period teacher will be there live, waiting, ready to teach you. Okay? If you are in cohort B, you will do the exact same thing. You'll start in period 1, you'll have a break, period 3 and then a break, and then period 5 and then a break. The only difference is your sessions will take place, again, live, but just after lunch, okay? So again, if you get a little confused, come back to the schedule, figure out, am I in cohort A or am I in cohort B? Now on Wednesday, it doesn't matter, but on Thursday and Friday, it matters very much. So cohort A, you'll have your sessions in the morning. Cohort B, you'll have your sessions in the afternoon. Now, those of you who are returning students know that the periods themselves look very much like you would have had last year. Thursday is an odd day. So you have period 1, period 3, and period 5, whether you're in cohort A or cohort B. And Friday is your even day. So you have period 2, period 4, and period 6. And the last thing I want to stress to you about this first week of school, or remind you, is that these sessions on Thursday and Friday are live. So if you, for whatever reason, can't make it to your live session with your teacher during this time slot, you will be marked absent, and that's going to create a host of other issues that need to be taking place. So make sure you are there at your computer, at your Chromebook, ready to go at the time that your schedule demands. So that's the first week of school schedule. If you are confused or want me to walk you through it again, feel free to shoot me an email at cwinchell, WINCHELL, at laalliance.org, and I'll be happy to do what I can to assist you and ensure that you have what you need to be successful the first week. So now, we're going to go to our regular school schedule that will take place for both distance learning and hybrid learning for the foreseeable future, which looks like this. Now again, your advisory does not change. 8:45 to 9:10. 8:45 to 9:10, you are in advisory. It is live. Your teacher is there to talk to you every day, all scholars, ready to go. Okay? This is where it gets a little tricky, so stay with me. But again, as long as you know what cohort you're in, everything should make good sense. Now, Monday is all asynchronous learning, which means you do not have to be live face-to-face with your teachers, but you do have to engage in the learning that your teacher has prepared for this week. This might look like a video to watch and answer some questions, or a text to read, or some documentary to watch. There's a whole bunch of things your teachers might have prepared for you, but that Monday learning is really important because it's going to launch for you the content that you're going to be engaging in for the rest of the week. So your Monday learning is very important. It needs to take place. It needs to get done, but don't expect it to be face-to-face live because it's not built to be that way. Now, if you are in cohort A, you have all of your classes, all 6 of them, Tuesday and Wednesday. And these classes, as you can see on the schedule, right there it says it, these classes are synchronous, which means, like we talked about for the first week of school, you're going to have to be there, be live, be ready to go for an hour and a half per class, okay? So 90 minutes for your first period and then a break, 90 minutes for your third period and then a break, and then 90 minutes for your 5th period and then a break. And you are done for the day with your classes by 2:05. All right, so all 3 classes, 90 minutes each, and those sessions are live with your teacher in small groups of about 15. So you'll need to be there for attendance, for learning, for discussion, for all kinds of good stuff. Really looking forward to these live sessions, as are all of my teacher peers. Now, you might be asking yourself, man, if I'm in cohort B, that means I got Tuesday and Wednesday off. I'm going to be just home, chilling, listening to music, sleeping in, playing some video games. Who knows what I'm going to be doing? It's going to be a wild time. False. Your teachers will be providing for you independent supplementary work that builds off of Monday's lesson for you to work on Tuesday and Wednesday to really lock in the learning for your week. So you'll have some independent work time to work on your 1, 3, and 5, 2, 4, 6 classes. Maybe you'll have some one-on-one check-ins with some of your teachers. Maybe there's a quiz or a test to take for those classes on those days. But please expect still to be working, because this is still a school week, right? We have an obligation, both legally and morally, to ensure that you're getting the education you deserve, which means that on those independent work days, you're still taking care of your business, okay? Then things will just flip-flop, okay? On Thursday and Friday, Cohort B will have their live sessions face-to-face with their teachers in small groups of about 15. Period 1, Period 3, Period 5, same deal, 90 minutes each, done by 2:05. While Cohort A, who had the live sessions Tuesday, Wednesday, they'll be doing the same thing Thursday, Friday that their buddies in Cohort B did on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I want to stress this last point to you, that it's a little bit confusing. So give yourself a little bit of time to think through it, to process it. And again, if you still feel lost, feel free to reach out, and any of your teachers or myself or administrators will be happy to answer any questions you might have to help you figure out the best way for you to be successful with this schedule. Again, really looking forward to having you in this new and unusual school year, and really can't wait to get back to work with you all. Love you, and welcome back for the 2020-2021 school year. Last point that I want to make, and sorry this didn't happen earlier, is on your schedule you will see each of your classes, Period 1, Period 2, Period 3, so forth, and you'll have a couple letters. It'll either say A-C or B-C. If it says A-C, that means you're in Cohort A. If it says B-C, that means you're in Cohort B. And the C is just there because all scholars are in class on Mondays. That's the Monday coding, if you will, counselor speak. You can ask them if you're confused. So just pay attention to that first letter. If it's an A, then your live classes will be Tuesday, Wednesday. If it is a B, then your live classes will be Thursday and Friday. Thanks again.